don't think that y'all know what the is going on. So I think it's time we talk about something serious. What would happen if the U.S. deported 12 million immigrants, many of whom are from Central and South America? It wouldn't just be bad, it wrecked the economy, like Great Depression level wreck. First, let's start with the basics. Immigrants make up 13.6% of the U.S. population and an even larger share of the workforce. According to the American Immigration Council, 70% of undocumented immigrants work in industries that are critical to our economy, like agriculture, construction, hospitality, and healthcare. Deport 12 million people and you lose an estimated $5 trillion in GDP over the next decade. That's like erasing the entire economy of California. And think about agriculture. 70% of our farm workers are immigrants, and most of our fresh fruits and vegetables rely on them or come from their countries. Without them, the crops would literally rot in the fields. Remember the labor shortages during COVID? Food prices skyrocketed. Imagine that, but permanent. Now let's talk about what happens when you rip 12 million people out of their communities. Businesses that rely on immigrant workers close overnight. Renters lose tenants. Consumer spending drops because immigrants contribute nearly $2 trillion annually to the economy through purchases, taxes, and entrepreneurship. Oh, and about those taxes, undocumented immigrants pay $11.6 billion annually in state and local taxes. Deportation doesn't just hurt immigrant families, it starves local economies. And if you think tariffs will fix this, history says otherwise. In 1930, during the Great Depression, Congress passed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, which slapped high tariffs on imports to protect American jobs. Sounds familiar, right? Instead of helping, it caused a global trade war. Countries stopped buying U.S. goods, and exports dropped by 61%. Farmers lost their markets, factories closed, and unemployment hit 25%. Combine that with mass deportation during the same period, yeah. The U.S. deported over 2 million Mexican and Mexican-American people during the Depression. And you've got a blueprint for disaster. We didn't just lose workers, we gutted communities and worsened poverty. So what happens if we repeat these mistakes? Deporting 12 million immigrants means millions of businesses lose employees. Food prices skyrocket. Housing markets collapse. Consumer spending takes a fucking nosedive. And if tariffs are added to the mix, our biggest trading partners in Central and South America are going to retaliate. We lose export markets and inflation will climb through the roof. Sound like a good idea? Didn't think so. We've already seen how dangerous this path is. We can't let history repeat itself. Instead of tearing families apart and crashing our economy, let's focus on humane immigration policies that strengthen our economy and communities. What are your thoughts? Drop them in the comments and let's talk about how we can actually fix things instead of breaking them. We don't need another Great Depression.